We make a major mistake if we view the Bible as a series of isolated verses that we can select from in order to suit our own situation. In fact, we seriously need to guard against taking a verse out of context, as is often done with Matthew 18:20, which informs us, "For where two or three are gathered in my name, there am I among them." Let me give you an example. If we're running a church and attendance is particularly thin, we can take comfort in Matthew 18:20 by saying 2 or 3 attendees is perfectly fine. Alternatively, some may see this scripture as license to give up going to church in favour of mini services with the family at home. However, one of the rules of biblical interpretation is to look elsewhere in the Bible for confirmation that we are correctly interpreting the verses we choose to use. In the case of Matthew 18:20, when we look for other verses on church attendance, for example, we come across the following: "And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near." We read that in Hebrews 10 verse 25. This appears to be in direct contradiction to Matthew 18:20. Are the writers of Scripture confused? Is the Bible just a random set of inconsistent statements? Finding the answers to such questions requires us to read around selected verses. For example, Matthew 18:20, with the 4 verses that precede it, reads, "If your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault, between you and him alone. If he listens to you, you have gained your brother. But if he does not listen, take 1 or 2 others along with you, that every charge may be established by the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. If he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if he refuses to listen even to the church, let him be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. Truly I say to you, whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Again I say to you, if 2 of you agree on earth about anything they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I among them." It's perfectly clear then that Matthew 18:20 has absolutely nothing to do with church attendance and everything to do with church discipline. In fact, it is godly encouragement for church leaders to tackle issues and problems head on, rather than let them simmer and produce major headaches later on. It's also a warning that due process must be followed. So believers, let's not use Matthew 18:20 to excuse low church attendance or our own habit of not attending church. Hebrews 10:25 makes it quite clear that we are meant to be in fellowship with other believers. And of course, let's remember to examine all individual scriptures in light of the rest of the Bible before using any for specific purposes. Obviously, if you're not a believer, this message may not seem relevant to you, but I assume you are watching because you at least have an open mind on the relevance of Christianity. So I suggest you explore the faith further, because I can assure you, if you do this with an open mind, you will come to the conclusion that the Bible is true and Jesus is the Son of the living God. One way to start this investigation is to explore churches near you and give attendance a try. If you want help in finding a reputable church, please message me through TLC World and I'll put you in touch with Christians that I know to be mature and faithful. When you find a welcoming community, members will be only too pleased to share the basis of their faith with you and answer any questions you may have. But we're always online to help you too. Goodbye, and God bless.